this is another video from the That's Not Super Thing series. I would have said the acronym for that, but TNS, that's it, TNS. But unfortunately my brain is a little bit fried because recently I've been focusing on watching Sentai and Kamen Rider. So that's Zuden Sentai Carranger and Kamen Rider Build, because for both series, I mean, I finished Carranger, but I'm still watching Kamen Rider Build at this point. For both series, I think I did start watching. I did try to start watching, but I kind of fell off watching, which is a shame, really, because I think I was focusing on watching what was it? Baku Aga Sentai Bumunja. At the time it was Ultima Sentai King Oja. It goes back to last year. So I'm really behind. Anyway, this video that you're watching now, hopefully with your eyes, is the VRV Robo video. Now, before we actually start, I'm just going to say that because I couldn't find a VRV Robo, this is a very interesting thing. If I quickly get one of the machines out here, ignore this desk is pretty full. If you have a look at VRV2, I think it is, one of the examples of this being from America and not the actual Japanese VRV, because outside of the paint, this and VRV Robo are the same, right? Because VRV Robo, exactly the same thing, same kind of design, function, change, everything, except for the fact that some silver paint has been replaced with grey plastic in America, so that's why the Rescue Megazord has grey and not silver. So this version is the Rescue Megazord because of the grey plastic, but I'm calling it the VRV Robo because, well, it's exactly the same as the VRV Robo, just with the paint differences. Right, let's get on with things with VRV1. And I've forgotten the American names, and the shadows are being a pain. Let's see if I can get a light to start working on this occasion. Right, got a light. It's not quite as powerful as I'd like it to be. Yeah, that's just screwed me over, that has. Wait a minute, I'm just going to see if I can find another light. Won't be long. That's not... Oh wait, hang on. It was here all along, hiding away from me. Hopefully this one's got some battery. Oh yeah, that's a lot brighter, that is. So one needs to be charged. Great, that's another thing for me to remember. Right, first up, like I said, we have VRV Machine 1. This one is a fire truck, because they're all meant to be like rescue vehicles, but that rule contradicts itself in a few ways we'll get to in a minute. 2 ways, to be precise. VRV1, fire. The design's okay. It looks more of like a racing car than a fire truck, but go with what works, I suppose. As far as I remember, between the Japanese VRV Robo and the American Rescue Megazord, as far as I remember, there was no missing paint details at all, apart from, of course, the chrome silver being replaced with grey. Yeah, I know there's some silver paint on the front. This is meant there on the Japanese. The grey here, I think, was silver on the Japanese. These were silver. Type 2. These connectors on here, and of course on the back, these grey parts were all silver. So they did save a bit of cash by not making them silver. I mean, and I don't mind this difference. I mean, it'll bother some collectors. It doesn't bother me, that's for sure. Bottom of the vehicle, you can see there's some legs. Doesn't give away much else, actually. Right, so you can move the hoses up and down. as well as move the middle connectors. This one's a bit loose, as you can kind of see. This one doesn't move quite as much. That's not very... Yeah, this one feels a bit loose. That's due to the age of this toy. I've had this for, well, I think I got it a few years ago, but this came out in 1997 in America. I think it came out in 1996 as the VRV Robo, meaning that this is the oldest thing I own. The oldest thing from Power Rangers Super Sentai. Anyway, let's get to the transformation of this machine. What you do is you move up the hoses on the back, and on the actual back of the vehicle, you open it up like this. This is what it looks like. It looks like some kind of the letter T. As you can see, we've got some arm connectors inside, which will be useful later. We take the middle parts out here. It's empty inside, as you can see. Take this one out. The fists are nicely sculpted as well. The individual VRV machine robos aren't meant to hold weapons. The actual combined VRV robo will hold the weapons though, but I'll get to that in a minute. God, right, next, what you do is you take the bottom part here, because these legs are connected, and move it down. It's a bit tight, it doesn't want to move. There we go. Down. And then these pieces at the bottom connect, and then the space where the arms were, now where the hoses will go into. And now we have the arms at the back. They can be moved around to the front with this hinge combination. As you can see, there's a single hinge that moves in and out, and there's another hinge that moves it round to the back here. And then you pull out and then move them down, or move them down then pull them out. And then we get to the, yeah, these parts like to move back a lot, because when these kinds of things normally come out, the hinges are really usually stiff. One example of this would be the Excelia from Gekisou, where if you muck about with it a bit more, the spinning screen hinge will loosen up a bit more. Anyway, to find the head, reveal the head, so you open the front part here like this, and it's all clear plastic on the inside, which I do like to see. It's unique. You've got a door which you have to fold up and over. There's some moulding here, as you can see, mainly probably because you're seeing the back of it. It's what you're going to be seeing when you turn the Megazord around. Megazord Robo, speaking in American terms, that's not good. And you can see here inside, you can't really see due to the lighting, but you got the red V-Fire head. I've forgotten the names of these. I'll go the best as I can. The red fire head inside here, and then this black part here is the VRV Robo head, but we'll get to that in a minute. You put the head up and you close this. Oh, and I almost forgot. I always forget to pull the feet out of the bottom. There's some feet parts that get pulled out, as you can see. V-Fire. What do I think of this design? He's got a very big, bulky, well, the front of the vehicle, very it bulges out like he's a battering ram or something. Other than that, I think, yeah, this is a good design. It kind of resembles a, it's more like a Transformer. There will be a recurring theme with Transformers throughout this entire video, because I think at the time this Megazord was inspired by the older combining Transformers from the 80s and the 90s. I think it was more the 80s actually. And I think those also existed in Japan. So I think at the time whoever was designing this liked Transformers or was inspired by Transformers. Anyway, you got the side. We'll introduce the police. Now, yeah, very good looking police car. You'll notice that the black decoration, the black sticker should have continued off to the side here, because it's a design. It's all marked out, but there's no sticker. that doesn't really bother me. And also this grey, entire grey plus piece here, plus the moving part with the sticker on. This was meant to be silver. They cut that out, of course. Stickers on the side. Stickers are a bit wonky. They don't seem to have peeled off though. They seem to have kind of gone a bit. They've lost their metallic shine a bit, but again, stickers don't really bother me. Just look at flipping Lego sets. I mean, I'd barely apply the stickers to them. I'm so afraid of getting it wrong. Actually, looking at the V5, you can see that the stickers are pretty nicely intact, apart from a couple of small damages. But yeah, it looks alright actually, with the stickers on top being a very good example because they look fine. So it's quite kept up actually, quite nicely kept up. Of course, this won't be a running seam. Of course, you will see in a minute. Again, stickers don't really bother me, so it's nothing to worry about in my opinion. The sirens here, you use clear plastic. Even the part of the sticker on has clear plastic underneath because it was all molded with clear plastic. What you do to transform this one is that you turn it upside down, and this is basically how the turning upside down is a key part in modern Transformers for the rescue bots. I think it was where you turn it upside down. It's not a car; it's a robot now. So that's a thing. I think I pointed out in my 31 Smith videos actually. Of course, there'll be a new video for that series in September, or whenever they come out in the next catalogue. I think that's in September at least. I can't remember. My memory tells me it's September. Anyway, what you do for this one is that you pull out the bottom parts for the legs, revealing these like silver joints. And you don't do that yet. You pull them down and you pull them out like this. Stickers on here also look nicely kept up. They look a bit aged. I think some parts have been scratched off. That's not really much of an issue for me, like I said before. And you've got some feet here. You pull out. Standing up, you pull these arm pieces out here. And of course, again, these joints are quite wonky. So, not wonky, they're just loose. Then the top part here, just fold down, and then you've got the badge and the sculpted head. I think the head's all nicely sculpted on these little things. Naturally, they kind of look like battleizers almost, but they're not exactly. Yeah, wonky joints. This one isn't as wonky, as you can see. It's holding its position. This one is, because if I nudge this one, it won't move. If I nudge this one, yeah, it will move. The joints here, these are all metal. You can tell by the way that they're shiny. You can't really see them because they're kind of concealed by the surrounding parts. Speaking of being surrounding parts, yeah, the fists are nicely sculpted. Yeah, I don't know why I'm taking it out of frame. Good camera work there. The fists are nicely sculpted. They can't, like I said before, they can't really hold anything. And you think that's my British getting in the way. They can't hold anything. I mean, that's to be expected, but again, if these were released today, they'd do what they did for the Russols from 2019. They'd release them as a Megazord, but then also release these as like a 6-part series of like fully articulated action figures. Because again, if these were released today, collectors would be saying, "Oh, wouldn't it be good if these had articulation in the legs?" Because this doesn't have knee joints. I don't think any of them have got knee joints actually. Unless you count the next one, which is the dump. Now, unless I'm not mistaken, a dump truck is not a rescue vehicle, it's a construction vehicle. Which very confusing with the next one I'll get to in a minute. This one is V-dump, like I said. What about the stickers and decorations? Little Big Planet. These grey parts were all metallic, silver, metal. I think they were actually. What were they metal? I think they were actually. Again, there's a problem with that because metal gets rusty. So, yeah, as you can see with the wheels here, because the wheels have got a bit of rust on them. Did I show that off with the? Yep, rusty wheels. I don't know why that's such an important detail, but yeah, V-dump. The stickers on the sides they've been nicely kept up too. They're like shiny stickers, like with all of them. Bottom, again, all these vehicles have got nice sculpted detail on them. That's good. Sculpted detail, is that what you call this? I don't know. I'd like to think that because we got this off of eBay. I'd like to think that the person we got this from, like, would like refurbish it every now and then, but yeah, some details you can't really do anything about because you can see one of the stickers I've peeled off at the side. Again, doesn't bother me. Nice use of silver paint on the front though. Anyway, to transform this one, what you do is you... is this light running out of juice? I think it might be. Gotta charge it up in the future. What you do is you don't do that, you fold this out all the way. Because this is meant to be like a dump truck. They kind of experimented with this idea, but yeah, it's just for transformation purposes really. When you move it all the way back, it does become the feet. And then you've got the cover here, which you fold down, closes it up like that. Also makes it look really weird if it's in a Robo mode, or I believe Turbo called them high stance mode, which is a bit weird actually. And then what you do is you pull this out, and there's some silver joints here, like joints. It's only silver on the front. Again, if these were made today, people would be saying, oh, there should be silver at least on the side. Of course, if those were like proper action figures, they'd be painted all the way around. Anyway, and then you pull out the arms here, which they don't go out very far at all. Look. These arms only spin 360 degrees. They don't have proper... They're not as articulated as the other two. But again, they've got like a nice ratcheting sound. So I think that's kind of satisfying. And you got the... Might want to move this up a tiny bit because it's not a frame otherwise. You want to open the front cab part here. Bit squeaky. Then you squeeze these two side bits in so that it can fit underneath these two side parts here, which I will do now, like that. And of course, when you move it again, the side parts will come out there. You can really see that. Let's try that again. That's better. Makes some noise too. And then there's a head part in here too, which we will be brought out if it didn't go down. There we go, need to do it at a different angle there. Bring the head around, goes into place. He says making a huge racket as the Zord goes for a bit of a movement on the table. Yeah, V-Dump, very blocky in design I might add. The fact that all the characters Zords have got like the symbols on them, like number symbols on them, one way or another, I think that's a nice touch. I think that's a nice idea, give them like a uniform design. Although honestly that would give them a bit less wiggle room for design at the same time. Which might explain why modern Sentai Robos, like the Dynamic Taijin for instance, why they don't really have some kind of uniform design. Like, oh, it must float so and so. Which also might explain why they haven't really tried this whole individual Robo idea out for a long time. I think, in fact, even this was the last time I think they tried it. I can't remember. Unless you count Zenkaiger. But honestly, I think Zenkaiger's Zords were meant to be what the Kikainoids transform into. It's not meant to be, oh, it's a case of vehicle to robot. It's a case of robot to vehicle or animal. It's the other way round. Right, now we will move on to the most confusing case for Zord. Bring the camera down a bit more, there we go. Welcome to V-Dozer, everyone. Again, stickers on this have been kept up quite nice. As you can see, the stickers are okay. Stickers on the cab have also been kept up good too. Text stickers on the front as well. The arms here are meant to be silver again, as well as these parts at the back. So they did actually save quite a bit on metallic paint. You can see the head at the bottom, as well as the chest number. We'll get to that in a minute though. One of the things that kind of gets me about this is the back. Yeah, I know this is where you are meant to have the standard Megazord mode, but I mean, come on, just look at the other leg here. There's some paint, no, not paint, this is molded stuff on the bottom there. So then why couldn't they just have any molded detail on the bottom of here? Again, if this was released today, they would have had something like that, I believe. But this is one of the this is the most confusing Zord in the lot, because yeah, it's called V-Dozer. It's obviously a dozer because the bucket's on the front. But apparently there's two clips on the back here, which if you move the buckets to the back, it now becomes a racing car, as evidenced by the front spoiler. Not spoiler. This is like the formula bit on the front. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a car expert. Neither are rescue vehicles, so that's odd. To be fair, goodness, turn the light off. To be fair, VRV Robo VRV does stand for Victory Ranger Victory Ranger Vehicle, I think it stands for. Which kind of says, oh, it can be anything. But Power Rangers calls it Rescue Megazord, and this isn't a rescue vehicle, this is a construction vehicle. So that's a bit odd. Anyway, to transform this, which we will move this out of the way, you pull this out here, and there's some metallic connection joints, like with this guy over here. You take the buckets, push them back, and you click them into place. Because of the sliding function here, as you can see on the side, the little line there. And you spin the cab around, so it doesn't look like it does much, but what it does, I believe, is it stops this from moving up. I don't know if that's intended, I don't know if that's just the way it was designed. I don't know, all we do know is that it looks like this. Maybe it's because it looks more symmetrical and nice, although it does still does stay symmetrical if it's in that, but they have you put it in this format anyway. Pull the arms out, and just like with Dump, the arms have got this ratchet, plus they're not fully articulated, they only go like 360 degrees like Dump here. And then what you do, the top part here, you move the front part down, click with a nice click. Symbol on the chest, and of course, as you saw earlier, the back part does hide the head, which will be brought up. And if you have a look, the head is wearing the helmet backwards, which makes it look a bit more like it's wearing a cap backwards. I don't know, it's weird, as you can see. Very, very odd for a, yeah. I was going to say very odd for a name choice for the Rescue Megazord, because they included both this and the Dump. That's odd. I feel like if the name Turbo Megazord hadn't been used, they would have called this Turbo Megazord instead, but then what else were they supposed to call Turbo Megazord? Big Racing Car Megazord. Odd. Again, I forgot to talk about the design here. Design's okay. It looks a bit more... I want to say that the top part looks a bit more humanoid as opposed to bulky. One of the things that I am going to say is it doesn't really have a feminine appearance, because sometimes in Power Rangers at least, they would refer to the Zords as being like male or female. Don't know if that was ever done in the show. I only know it because certain reviewers called them he's or she's. Bit weird. You know, because this guy's got like a very bulky, like masculine appearance, like as if he's got like really like muscles and stuff. Where am I going with this conversation? It makes no sense. What I was gonna say is that, yeah, they've got really big feet. Because if you look here, it kind of looks as if they are toes, but odd, weird. Right. Also, because it's hollow. Yeah. Hollow. But again, that's for the bucket, so you can't complain. Although again, speaking of, they'd probably make it so there'd be some doors that would close, covering up the hollow parts in Megazord mode. I'm a bit weirded out by modding all the Sentai. And lastly, of course, we've got rescue. This is a V rescue, I think it is. I can't remember. Metallic paint's done all nice. Does this look like an ambulance? No, it doesn't. It looks more like looks more like Boom Wagon, you know, from Bakuwaga Sentai Boom Boom J. It looks more like that. Yeah, this does not look like an ambulance at all. It looks more white on camera, when in real life it looks a bit more, I want to say a bit more yellowed, but I don't know. Maybe because this one's white, the dirt shows up on it a bit more. As you can see, there's some scratches. There's stickers that have been coming off. These two top stickers have been kept in fine too. This other sticker's been peeled off entirely. Again, stickers don't bother me. Stickers don't bother me. Anyway, to transform this one. Oh, actually, what am I saying? The clear plastic on the actual thing here has been done up nicely too. Honestly, clear plastic's used quite a bit because it's been on, let's see, 1, 2, 3 out of 5 Zords. So clear plastic's been a recurring feature on this Megazord, which I do like. Again, if this was more recent, they'd have it so, oh, it's got lights and everything, because that's what Carranger did with the with their Megazords. Funny, but it also means you have to constantly keep replacing the batteries in it. Boo! What's next to Megazord with a rechargeable battery? Possible. Anyway, to transform this, all you need to do is split it in half. Great. And then you essentially put the two halves up like this, and then that's it. You're done. Well, not really, because you've basically just formed the legs. Yeah, do these look like legs? Not really. They look more like big bulky blocks of metal or cardboard. At least that improves when you open this up here, because what you do next is you pull open the two sides here, and you've got more of a body as well as more leg here. So they do more to improve, but all that does for the legs, it makes it look as if they're wearing big platform boots. And of course you pull out the arms here, which are a bit difficult to pull out. As you can see, I've had to struggle a bit, but of course they are articulated a bit more than the dump and dozer, as you can move them back and forth. Spin them right round, baby, right round, like a record player, right round. Okay, that's a reference. I feel like I'm dropping on the references only slightly. Then you've got a head in here, you pull out, and then you stick the two arms back together. V-Rescue, what do I think? Oh, no. Oh, great. There's a problem where sometimes one of the legs won't be out all the way, and I have to check which one is that happening, which one that is, because sometimes it will wobble around. Hopefully it's fixed now. Yeah, it's not wobbling anymore. Oh, no, it is. Oh, no. What's going on here? Okay, that's fine. Good. What do I think of this design? Well, bulky. Again, I think the legs, again, they look like platform boots because they look really big and very bulky. Interestingly enough, these two don't really have any feet, because the others, this sort of, police and fire do have feet on them, as you can see. So then why couldn't they have feet on rescue, like what they did with police? I don't know. It feels like if this was made today, it would have a bit more design involved. But this was the 90s, all right. By this point, they hadn't really fully established what they needed to pull off to sell merchandise and make it worth a damn for collectors. Because again, nowadays they make it so, oh, Boom Boom cards, Robo, Megazord, or what's this? They also work with Morpher. Great, thumbs up. So they didn't have this kind of stuff back in the 90s. So by this point, they weren't doing two. They were normally tied to just one Megazord per series. This was one of the, at the time, they were just getting into having 2 Megazords for Rangers to go in. Alright? Right. I'll be doing mindless and pointless jabbering. Let's go on to VRV Robo Megazord formation. Ooh. Firstly, what we've got to do is we've got to take a dump, squeeze the arms in, push them down like that, and flip the head round. It's just empty. There's a connector. And then for this one, we basically do the same. Arms, legs, head, and also spin the cab around like this. Of course, you can see that there's a space there for the connector to go in. And then for place, what we do now is we push up the arms into place, fold this around there, the cab, push the feet in. On the back here, we've got some connectors that are actually made of metal because they're cold. They come out there. And then the front of the vehicle drops. And then we can connect it to the other side like this. And at this point we can connect the connectors together. So blue goes into yellow and into green. So it looks a bit like this. As you can see on the top, there's quite a few connectors, pegs, and they are for red, because what we do with red is we open the fire cockpit, take up the VRV head. As you can see, this part is entirely hollow now. Put my fingers through it, hello. Take out the VRV head, close this. As you can see, the fire head is simply sitting inside the VRV head, which is a nice detail to have. I don't know why I said that. You move this piece up, push out the fire hoses, push in, move the arms around. I don't think you have to do this, but I'm doing it because, well, I think it's more of a convenient design choice. And then push this up here, push in the feet, open these back parts here so they come round to the side. And of course this means that the back cover will be in the back now. And then you move the hoses out here so they're facing the front. And then you move the camera up because there's not enough space. I had this trouble a couple of times before. Put it on top of there, so it looks like this. And then we've got the final stretch with Ada, or Rescue. I don't know why I called her Ada. I think that's because I'm referring to Ada. Probably Bulkenger. Yes, I am Bulkenger. Push the arms in, split in half, flip the head in, take out the connectors, which are actually quite big if you look at that. Open, fold out the fists here. You're meant to close these up so it looks a bit like this. But then that's a bit weird, so I just close it up all the way. And do the same on the other side. The connector, fists, close that. And then all we do now is move the camera up a bit. You can see the entire socket here. And you've got then the connector holes at the side here. We simply push the arms into those connectors. And shazoom, you now have VRV Robo. Good. It's a very bulky design, I will give it that. That's because it's made of several bulky components. What I will say as a final note on this video is that if you also have the RV Robo, you can actually swap out the arms and the legs for the RV5, RV3 and RV4. They're not called that, but whatever. And from a new Robo called Scramble Intersection Robo. And I think this too made it into Power Rangers, but I don't know what it was called there. Because I'm not a 90s maniac.